Hello, everyone. My name is William Feeney, and I'm here with my colleague, Doriana Piche. Together, we are the Go DC Go employer team. I should note briefly that this webinar is being recorded so that it'll be available for those who were not able to attend. And we will have that recording available after the presentation. So today we are talking about how to build a bike-friendly workplace. Best practices for benefits, facilities, and all the rest. So I'm going to briefly start with an overview of the Go DC Go program's connection to biking and why we are so involved with promoting biking. I do want to talk a bit about Bike to Work Day 2022. It's on Friday, and it's an event that you are definitely going to want to engage with. And then we're going to get into the updates on bicycle infrastructure and the facilities, policies, and programs that form the foundation of bicycle-friendly workplaces. At the end, we'll have time for questions, as well as a raffle of 3 different exciting bike-themed prizes for attendees. So be sure to stick around to the end if you want to be considered for the raffle. So as always, we are an initiative of the District Department of Transportation, and in our role, we promote sustainable transportation throughout the district. Now, let's get into the exciting stuff. Bike to Work Day 2022. So every year, Bike to Work Day is hosted by the League of American Bicyclists. And this year, it's Friday, May 20th, from 7 to 9 a.m., so sort of typical commute hours. And throughout the city, throughout the region, in Virginia, in Maryland, and in DC, there are going to be over 100 pit stops. We have snacks, t-shirts, free stuff, basically everything bike related you can imagine. They have a link on their website to find the closest pit stop to you, and we will be including that link in our post-webinar recap. And this is just a fantastic event. I encourage all of you to engage, and there's a good chance there is a station either near your home, on your way to work, or near your office. Now, let's get into an update on the infrastructure, because one of the core ways to facilitate a bike-friendly workplace is to have the infrastructure to allow your employees to get to it, right? Before I get into that, I want to briefly discuss the Sustainable DC transportation goals, and this is really why biking is so relevant. So by 2032, DC has a goal to increase public transit use to 50% of all travel, increase biking and walking and other sustainable modes such as electric scooters or bike share to 25%, and have commuter trips made by car at around 25%. So where we are right now, we are at 32% by car, so pretty close. We are at 31.5% for public transit and 12% by foot. We're also at 4.2 by bike. So combined, we are at 16, almost 17% of our 25% goal. And this was taken a few years ago, so we are much closer now. One of the reasons we are much closer is our bicycle infrastructure. Over the past 2 years, I don't think it's an exaggeration that bicycle infrastructure in the district has really been transformed. So DDOT has a goal of adding over 24 miles of protected bike lanes by January 2022 and adding 20 more miles by 2023. So let's get into what's been added recently, because there are some updates that I want to make sure everyone knows about. So this is a map that's available on DDOT's website of all the different updates that have been made and the updates that have been planned. The black lines are what we're interested in right now. That's what's been completed in 2020 and 2021. So a few things to highlight are the Virginia Avenue lane on the southwest, the 17th Street and 20th Street lanes, the completion of the 15th Street bike lane down past the mall, and the 4th Street bike lane as well. And what these updates do is they create a series of strong commute routes on the north-south trajectory that provides safe and accessible routes for cyclists to get to the downtown core and south past that to places like Navy Yard or down into Virginia. I'm a little bit biased, but the 4th Street bike lane in particular is fantastic. That's what I use to get to the office, and it's always great to use. Now, let's talk a little bit about the facilities that a bike-friendly workplace has in place. So first and foremost is secure bike storage, and there's several aspects to this. Firstly, your employees want to make sure they have somewhere to put their bike when they get to work. Not only are outdoor bike racks limited in terms of capacity, but also there are, of course, security concerns. And if you have a bike that you really like, you want to make sure that it's safe indoors. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this. A lot of buildings these days will have a bike room. If yours doesn't, and you own your building, it's fairly easy to set one up. There are now a variety of vertical bike rack solutions on market. They range from freestanding to wall-mounted, and they are all fairly inexpensive. So if you have an extra closet, it can be transformed pretty easily and often without any permanent renovations into a secure bike room. Of course, your building might already have one, and if you rent your space, chances are you would not be able to make those alterations yourself. If your building has a bike room, a key point is to promote it. Oftentimes, we've been working with employers, and the employees have said that they weren't even really aware that they had access to a bike room or how they could start using it. So even if you have one, you want to make sure you are doing a strong job of promoting it. Now, if you don't have one and you don't own your space, options include petitioning your building to create one. This is an area where we are happy to assist by providing the business case and the benefits that the building would gain by having secure bicycle storage, or petitioning for the installation of bike racks in 1 or 2 spots in a secure garage. This is another option that I've encountered myself at many employers. It works very well since most garage spaces are already secured and in addition protected from rain and the elements. So that's another option that works well. And lastly, now many lobbies don't allow bikes in them or to come through them, but if you own your space or have some sort of flexibility with the lobby space, allowing employees to keep their bikes at their desk does work as a kind of stopgap solution, where you're providing that secure space and protection from the elements while not having to do a full-scale renovation of a empty room in your building. Now, just having a place to store bikes isn't everything. There's a couple more things you want to make sure you do. So having the tools necessary on hand to do minor repairs and alterations is super important. Now, you can purchase tool stands online or through local bike shops, which include a stand for the bike and all the tools you could possibly need attached to it. Or the simpler version is to keep the key tools on hand, like air pumps, patch kits, and simple multi-tools that can loosen screws and adjust tires. One program that we strongly encourage, in addition to having maintenance tools on hand, is a well-promoted guaranteed ride home program. Now, what this is a policy where if non-car commuters, so this also applies to people who take the train, take the bus, walk to work, if something comes up and they need to get home from work quickly and reliably, then they have a ride on hand and they can get reimbursed for it by their employer. There's a fantastic regional guaranteed ride home program run by Commuter Connections, our regional counterpart. And we also encourage employers to sort of have their own policies on the books. This can be something as simple as just having a line on paper that says, if you need to work late, or if you have an unexpected transportation issue, we'll cover the cost of getting you home quickly. So that's a fantastic policy that really provides a sort of safety net for sustainable commuters. And last but certainly not least, there's a fantastic option provided through the District Department of Transportation. And that is, if there are no bike racks outside of your workplace or nearby, you can call and get them installed free of charge. So currently, DDOT is offering this service through 311. And if you call and request bike racks, they will establish whether there is a need in the area. For instance, if there are bike racks right around the corner, maybe that area might not be prioritized, but if there aren't any, then they will absolutely prioritize the area. And it doesn't happen immediately, but sooner rather than later, they will come and install public bike racks outside of your workplace. So that's a fantastic option, free of charge to the employer. I also want to kind of circle back to a previous point I made, that there are some fantastic vertical bicycle storage solutions on the market today, including freestanding racks that don't require installation. So if you have a smaller space that you own, those are a fantastic solution that do not require permanent alterations. So I will now turn it over to my colleague, Doriana Piche, who will discuss the policies, programs, and incentives that build the bike-friendly workplace.
Hello. Now, Will's told you about all the wonderful things that you can do, and I would like to talk to you a little bit about why you would want to do some of these things and the value that they can add to your organization and your work situation. First, as Will said, it helps achieve our the Move DC goals that the city is trying to achieve and make our area a better place to work and live. It helps reduce traffic and congestion and vehicle emissions. There's some unexpected cost savings involved with implementing some of these things and getting your employees to commute to work. There was a study done, a case study, a company on the West Coast implemented a $3 a ride. If people rode to work every day or however many days they rode to work, they got $3. And they found it cost them about $45,000 to implement this program. But what was amazing is, well, their premiums or health premiums ended up going down by 4%. Well, everybody's actually went up at that time around 25%. So they had a cost savings of $200,000 in their premiums because they were implementing this bike program and getting the people to use it. It also helps with recruiting and retention. There's a lot of concern right now between senior HR people. One of their priorities, there was a study done, their priority is, getting people back into the office and making the commute less painful, because people have had the luxury of not having all that extra time on their hands and not having to commute into the office. So this is a way that people can actually get their exercise while they're spending their time commuting into work. It promotes health and fitness and boosts employee engagement. So there are a lot of great reasons to implement some of these wonderful things that we're talking about today. So you can, as the great movie Field of Dreams said, you can, if you build it, they will come. That isn't necessarily always the case. And you might get some avid bikers that will jump right in and make it happen. But we need to do some incentivizing to get some people on board, especially maybe those people that would never really consider it or thinks it's out of the realm of possibility for them. So we can talk about some of the ways you can incentivize these programs. And the easiest is to participate in some of our programs that we already have in the works for you. Like the Commuter Challenge that happens in September. It's a great way, if you sign on as an employer, that your employees can participate and win prizes and get excited about commuting into the office. You can also host your own wellness challenge. You can do that any time of the year, where people can log their hours or their miles. Maybe you can have some prizes for the shortest commute, or the person that commutes the most days in a month. You can make it lots of fun and think of all different ways to make the challenges exciting, and all different levels can participate. Right now, GoDC Go has an incredible bike incentive going on. We're offering up to $200 towards a new bike. Applicants have to be DC residents. They must purchase the bike for commuting. They have to complete the survey. You'll see a link there to complete a survey. We'll be sending more information out after the webinar to everybody that's participated about this promotion, but it's a great opportunity to incentivize people to get a bike, to be able to try this new way of commuting into the city. They haven't already done it. You can do your own incentivizing for commuting. Well, there is the offer of the bicycle free fringe benefit, which is $20 pre-tax dollars people can put aside towards biking to work, or you can create your own to incentivize them to do so, like that company did with the $3 a day bike incentive. You can also provide your own subsidy for purchasing a bike or an e-bike. The other thing, consider offering some flexible arrival or departure times. It might make it a little easier for people to consider biking to work. The biggest thing is make it safe. That might be the biggest challenge for those people that are not already biking to work or avid bike riders, is the concern about being safe and knowing how to commute safely. There's great resources at the Washington Area Bicyclists Association. They have resources, training, and a lot more. You can either do a group class for your organization, or you could send your employees to take classes. It's a great resource to build up people's confidence and make them feel like, you know, they can ride safely and know how to commute through the city. The other thing you might consider is creating a bike buddy program, pairing up people that are more experienced with biking with some people that haven't done it before. It's a great way to create camaraderie and get them, teach them how to commute and maybe learn different ways of coming into the office that they might not have already considered. Keep bike maps in stock in the office for people to use if they want to track a different way to get to and from work. We offer them. All you have to do is connect with us and ask for bike maps, and we'll be happy to send you some. The other resource we have for you, we can create a custom get around guide for your business. And what it is it will showcase your location and a map with all of the different sustainable commuting options in your area: buses, circulator, bike racks, docking stations for Capital Bike Share. It's a great little tool, and we do that for you for free. So just let us know. All right, the other thing, and the most, I think, important, is to make it fun, because you want to get people excited about giving it a shot, especially those, like I said, that are not already gung-ho about biking to the office, because it really is a great way for everybody to get to work. So you can host your own bike work day or participate in the ones that already exist. You can host a get ready to ride day, like where you do things like how to maintain your bike, how to change a tire, you know, bring some people in to talk about biking to work and how to prepare to get on the road on a regular basis, and make sure that they know how to, or how to take care of their bicycle. You can also bring somebody in to do a tune-up for people as they start like the new bike season. One of the things we thought of is you don't have to be an athlete day. Maybe it's a great way to get people to give it a try for that one time, get them in on a bike that one time to come into the office and make it fun, make it a celebration, just to give them, once they try it, they might do it more often. And that's like anything, like the hardest day to get to the gym is the first day. And then after that, it makes it a little easier. It's the same with biking. So see what you can do to incentivize those people that might be a little shy about getting on a bicycle to come to work. You can do a photo contest where people can send in pictures. They could be funny. They could be, you know, biking in different places where people have to guess and identify. Have some fun with it and use your creativity. We also suggest maybe relaxing the dress code for people that are biking to work so that it's not as complicated to get ready to start their business day. You know, consider hosting a rider's breakfast every once in a while where people can share information and get excited and refuel after coming into the office on that bicycle. Something that a number of companies have found very helpful and very a lot of fun is creating a bike club at the office where creates a little bit of camaraderie and gets people talking and sharing information. But what we're finding is a lot of these bike clubs take it outside the workplace and end up joining different rides in the area and participating in different events, which is where the next item comes into play. Create a bike shirt or a helmet cover or something where they can be part of the team and showcase that they are proud employees participating in your bike program. And recognize and celebrate, just like anything, you want to make sure that they're getting acknowledged for their making this effort and participating, and find fun ways to recognize them. Even if you do a monthly birthday celebration for people in your office, just do a shout out for all those people that commuted on a bike that week or that month. It's a great way to let them know what's going on and get them excited. So we participate with the Capital Bike Share corporate membership. If you're not familiar with the program, it really is a great program. Normally, a bike share membership per person costs $95 for an annual membership. If you join as an employer, you get a code to hand out to your employees. The membership only costs $50 for the year, so it's a great savings. You can either pay the whole savings as the employer, or you could split the fee with the employee and have them pay 50%. If you're concerned about going over budget, if you have a limited budget, you can limit the number of people that can sign up so you can have some control over it. And if you want to sign up, we have a link to the sign up here, or you can send us an email at info@godcgo.com for more information. I want to mention a program that promotion we're hosting right now for the Capital Corporate Bike Share membership. If you sign up now, you will get a free Capital Bike Share 101 training class for your employees where we can teach them how to use the system, how to sign up, how to get a bike docked and undocked, and how to find them, where all the locations are. So it's a really handy, easy, quick class. You'll get 5 free bike memberships and a swag bag to give away, which is always a lot of fun. So here's a map just to show you all the different docking stations we have in the DC area. All those green dots are the docking stations, and the black dots are the e-bikes that are available. So there's tons of docking stations. It's very easy to get from one point to another in the city using this system. So it's really a valuable tool to offer to your employees. And so wanted to tell you a little bit about the raffle you guys will be put into for participating with this webinar. You'll get a chance of $150 Conti Bike Shop gift card. You can raffle off 5 free annual Cabby memberships and a loaded swag bag, including a Fitbit. We will raffle it off after and give out the prizes and email you all and let you know who won. I'd like to encourage you all to sign up for the GoDC Go newsletter, where you'll find out about all of our ongoing promotions, new things going on in the city that has to do with all types of sustainable transportation. In addition, I suggest you join our Employer Ambassador Program. If you're not familiar with that, we recognize all the employers that are promoting sustainable transportation and creating stellar programs within their organization. In order to become an ambassador, all you have to do is connect with WillRI, set up a consultation so we can go over the things that you're already doing so we can give you the recognition that you deserve. Every year we do an annual award ceremony that you will be recognized at, and it's all a lot of fun, and you might as well get recognition for all the hard work and the great things that you're doing. thank you so much for participating in our webinar. Here's our information. Feel free to contact us with questions. I think we're going to open the floor to some questions now, if anybody has anything that they want to know.
Yeah, and I believe we have a couple of questions in our chat. So I'm going to open that up and we can start with those, and then happy to answer any other questions after those. All right. So what is the update on the Connecticut Ave bike lane in Northwest DC? Is that happening? That's a great question. My understanding is that the Connecticut Ave redesign is still in the process of determining what the final version of it will be. I can say we certainly hope that the bike lane will be happening. And I think it's more likely than not that the final redesign will include the bike lane that has been discussed. Yeah, that would be a fantastic addition to our network. Is there a plan in place to partner with local bike repair places to help employees who find they need a repair? That is a great question. So yes and no. So the way that GoDC Go is involved with that right now, we have our current promotions with the Conti's Bike Shop gift cards, which employees can use. And Conti's, if you're not familiar, has 3 locations throughout the district and many more in Virginia. So they're a favored partner of ours just because they're so accessible and they're also great. I've always had great experiences there. And the connected question to that was adding local bike repair places to the map. That's a great question. Currently, I believe we don't have those specifically called out on the map, but that's definitely a good point that we will be considering for future editions. And I should note, we just had our 2022 bike map shipment come in today. So for anyone requesting bike maps, you'll be getting the most recent, most up-to-date version. And another question, would Guaranteed Ride Home cover inclement weather like yesterday's storms? That's a good question. So the program run by Commuter Connections, and that's the regional program, does not cover inclement weather. However, that's also why we encourage having your own supplemental program as an employer, where either instances where the Commuter Connections policy does not cover it are covered. And this can be something as simple as saying, look, if you need to get a ride, we'll reimburse you for it. And maybe stipulating a couple of reasons that would be acceptable.
If I could add to that, the idea of the guaranteed ride home. So if there is inclement weather, you could still take public transportation home. It isn't considered an emergency, like you need to get home quickly. So that is my understanding. The reason why that inclement weather is not included in that, it's to cover emergencies, because you still have other normal methods of returning home without a problem. But I would also like to say for the support for bike repairs, that is a great prize item for any of your incentive programs, is a gift card for a bike shop for a tune-up, or a bike, how to fix a bike, a tire or anything like that. Those are great little perks that you can offer to people to incentivize them. Say somebody's been commuting on a bike for 4 months, and to give them a tune-up or a small gift card to go get some work done on their bike would be a really great way to incentivize them to keep going, and in the scheme of things, reasonable, I think.
Absolutely, I definitely agree with that. And then we had a request to go back to the contact information page.
Oh, and I'd like to offer one more thing since we're on the contact information page. So when we were talking about all those different things that you can do to incentivize people, Will and I are here to help with that. So if you need ideas, you want to brainstorm, you're trying to, pump up your program, people are not participating like you like, give us a call. We're happy to talk to you and see what we can work through with you to see what we can make happen. So that's why we're here.
Absolutely. And while I get our presentation back to that slide, we had a next question. Would there be a list of repair places that we can direct staff to use as a resource? So I don't believe we have a list currently, but that, again, that's a great point, and something that we could absolutely create if you're looking for that as a resource. And to build off of what Dorianne just said about our services being available, if there's ever any sort of marketing materials that you would like to have on hand for incentives or new policies and programs, we are also available to help create those materials for you. So something like a list of repair places nearby, that's something that we could add onto a get around guide, or something that we could just make for you as a one-page document to have on hand. And we had another question. What is the long-range plan to connect some of the bike lanes that disappear and reappear blocks later? Yes, I'm very familiar with those. Is there a good way for employers/employees to track that progress? I would say the best way to do that is the DC bike plan. That's where the big map I showed kind of towards the start was from. And I can make sure we have a link to that in our recap email that will go out, including all the information on the raffle and all these links, because that's a great point, right? Some bike lanes are incomplete. Some of them have been completed, like the 15th Street lane by the National Mall. Others are yet to be completed. Definitely want to stay up to date on the DC bike plan. And it looks like that was the last of our questions. Oh, we have another one. Fantastic. Is the corporate bike share pay as employees are interested, or is it pay ahead? Do you have to purchase in bulk, or can you purchase as employees are interested? So you only pay for the number of employees who actually sign up, which is great because you're not going to incur a ton of costs just based on people who say they're interested. So the way it works is you submit a form, which we have a link to, and we will also link to in our recap, that basically says, I'm interested, here's my info. Someone from the corporate team will get back to you and set up your account. And you'll have your code for your program. And when employees want to sign up, all they need to do is ask you for the code. They enter the code like you would a promo code or discount code on the Capital Bike Share account creation page. And then they either pay $25 or they pay $0. And then once an employee signs up, you receive an invoice, and there's a variety of ways to pay these. They can really work with whatever your organization has. And you can set an upper level on the number of employees who can sign up in case you have a set budget. There is also a way to purchase in bulk in advance, but that's generally more difficult to manage. So we definitely encourage the kind of more standard way to set up a program where you have the one code and employees can sign up as they go. But yeah, I'll just say again, the Capital Bike Share corporate program is really a fantastic and really unique program, and we encourage you all to check it out. All right. Any other questions?
Yes. We have another question.
Okay. Is invoicing for the bike share program as employees sign up, or do they bill you monthly, quarterly, or biannual? So those are monthly.
Okay.
All right, last call for any questions. And like Dorian mentioned, we are always available by email, so please feel free to reach out. We also have our online calendars on the GoDCGo website. If you would like to schedule a meeting, you can schedule one on there and we will get a notification. But thank you all for attending today. And we will be following up with the winners of our 3 giveaway items. So keep an eye out for that email announcing the winners. And thank you all for attending today.